Hey there, CS360 students. So in this recording, we're going to take a look at the last section in Chapter 6, and this is how to start up a service that runs in the background. So this kind of piggybacks on running threads from the first part. And then also, how can we have our app send out notifications? So first thing is the intent service lets you run a task in the background even when the user is not interacting with your app. So a perfect example is, say, a music app like Pandora, where you're running music and then you close out of the app. So you switch to a different app, but the music is still playing because it's being run on what's called an intent service. So the intent service creates a background thread that runs your background task. And we can see how we can implement that in code right here. So we have a class called timer intent service, and you can see that it is extending the intent service. So the intent service contains all of the code under the hood to run something on a background thread. So to run it, the intent service has a method called onHandleIntent, where it takes in an intent. And in this case, we want to run our timer on the background, so you can see that they're going to get from the intent that started up here how many milliseconds are left. They're going to create the timer model that we saw back in section 6.4, and then they're going to start that timer right here. And then while that timer is running, they're going to create a timer notification. And we'll see how that's implemented here in a second. And then they are sleeping 1 second at a time. And then if the timer model is at 0, they're going to stop the timer, and then they're going to create a notification that the timer is finished. So we're going to see here the create timer notification method. So scrolling down, here's where the create timer notification method is going to be created by you. It's a to-do. And they provide us how to do that with similar code as you scroll down right here. So to create a timer notification that takes in some text, you can see that we are going to create a notification type. And then we're going to set the icon to this app's icon, the title to this app's name. The content text is whatever got passed in. The priority would be low, and then we call its build method. So we now have our notification created. We're then going to get the notification manager, and then we can notify the manager that we have a new notification. So pretty simple code to put out a notification that you can just simply use up in that to-do. Now, the way that that all works, if we kind of scroll back up here, one thing to point out is to use that service on the background, you do need to add that to your Android manifest. So we have to include this on our manifest that we do run a service in the background. And then in the main activity, you can see that we have the onStop method, that if it is running, we're going to create our intent, grab the time left, and then we start our service with the amount of time left. They then go into the details about how you can specify the notifications. So you're all familiar with smart devices, so we know that they can be in the notification drawer here, or we can also then display them on the notification as a dot here. And so they give the information on how those get presented right here using the importance value. And one thing to note that they do check right here that the timer notification channel depends on the Android SDK being greater than 26. So they point out that the Android notification gets only supported on levels 26 and above. So otherwise, this is not going to work on an earlier Android device. Okay, so they do have some pretty good code in here, so you can use this. You'll be definitely using this code right here, as well as this notification channel in your term projects to put out your notifications from your app.